but nevertheless, as I had predicted, this was a small town, and while this postmaster had not grown up and was not from Escalante per se, you have to be born there and generations there. You can't be a newcomer and come into town and you can't, make a claim against somebody for sexual harassment, like you. And I already knew this beforehand, that I would be a town pariah for doing that. But what I didn't know was that first the women were going to attack me the worst. And I had been very active in the church, the ward, and I'd had a different bishop for the previous year, and then I had this new bishop, and he was great, but he got the Relief Society president in contact with me, and she came to pick me up. And she said, so what happened? She took me to like a kind of like wooded foresty area. I had been self-isolating for a couple reasons, because I was having a range of emotions I couldn't control. And that was terrifying. And my postmaster, like it wasn't just a one-time sexual assault. It was mental warfare, and I actually had thought he was one of the nicest guys and that we were friends before I took the post that had been vacant for 9 months before. Nobody, like, he could not get that position filled. And so the Relief Society president, she took me to this wooded area and she said, so what happened? And I said to her, I explained, I said, like right from the start, like he was very, demanding, and I wasn't like allowed to even ever like touch my phone, and I wasn't allowed to use the restroom even, and it was so bad. I wasn't, I was actually getting like UTIs, and she goes, I never would have allowed that. And let me, so Escalante is a very, very remote place. This is not, it is my western town, but like not in a way that should ever be romanticized. The people are incredibly tough and proud of it. It's very, very western, and I was an oddity there. Also, it was a town that I don't even know if there's like any place like it in the U.S., but it was a town that had far more men than women. So we would say, and I don't know, I'm going to be framing things that maybe are not, I don't know, woke. So she would have been termed like booked. She was married, she had kids, she was like tough. She was tough. And she said, I never would have allowed the postmaster to treat me that way. And I said, what do you mean? Like, we haven't gotten to the bad stuff yet. And she said, if he wouldn't have like allowed me to go to the bathroom, I just would have like peed my pants right there. So that was like a preview for a little bit of the conversation which followed, which was essentially like I asked for everything that happened to me, and like weirdly she went into this like tangent where like she wasn't afraid of mice, and like if she saw a mouse she would stomp it, and nothing with my bug spot, nothing had even come up in the, I think she was just saying like, what happened to me was my fault. So I was even more isolated. You know, normally you would have a church community. Also, I was not a person who, like, I don't know. If you're someone who kind of always wonders if you're the problem, you know, you might feel anger at yourself because, you know, you didn't foresee something. You didn't act in the right way. You did something wrong. But you don't really get angry at people at all. Like, maybe that's like a self-control thing. And, I'm not denying, like, I probably, maybe it was a control thing. And I never got angry at people because obviously, like, I got myself into this mess and I should have foreseen it.